What's up, everybody? Welcome to the No Scrubs Allowed podcast. Seal, how's it going?
It's going as much as a Jags fan can go at this point in the season, which hasn't even started yet. But you know, you know how the football gods like to do the old Jaguars.
Yeah, so
Uh,
the first big injury, I mean, maybe it's not that big if you consider what Urban Meyer's been talking and playing Etienne, but the first big injury of the preseason is Etienne going down for the entire season, which really sucks. You were obviously excited about him being used at least out of the backfield, maybe not as the starter, but just getting used out of the backfield being a nice help back. And now you guys don't have that. So,
yeah, Swiss Army knife and kind of take the pressure off of Carlos Hyde, who I don't like that he was still the second on the depth chart before the injury. But this is a big punch in the throat for Urban and his Swiss Army knife offense that he has set up and in place. And it just stinks. That's one less person for Trevor to throw to. And oh, yeah, the only person that he seems to have any kind of continuity and gelling and any
right.
kind of rhythm with. His rhythm is off with everybody else. And that's what I kept saying. I didn't see him. I was at work. So I didn't see him in the game. I guess it was only like 2 snaps he was in, 2 or 3 plays.
Oh, yeah.
And he had the injury happen. But I kept saying the whole time, why isn't Etienne and where is he at? Like, why isn't he like it's the only guy that he can throw to? And he just gets to his drop and looks around and has no rhythm with anybody else but
Right.
him. And that really sucks. So it's gonna be a long year again. We're gonna go 1-16.
He's been finding Chenault on a few good plays, and I think that his stock is rising, at least in the fantasy sports world, because without Etienne, there's been nobody else, like you said, that even comes close to having chemistry. But at least Chenault gets all the little screen passes and the things that will really help out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So,
And I mean, even if you look at which one do I do? The ESPN one, I think when you look at
mhm.
the rated receivers, um, they have DJ Shark one level above Chenault, and I think that's about to completely change with
Right.
the injury to Travis because last year Chenault, I think he only had about 15, 20 rushes, but those came at the end of the season when they
Mhm.
started opening up that playbook a little bit and seeing what that boy could do. And so that's going to help out a lot fantasy wise with the injury to Travis because that's going to bring him back into the
Right.
backfield again for a lot more plays than he was going to. I'm sure there's still some packages in there somewhere, but that's going to help out his stock a lot more when it comes to fantasy now. And speaking of fantasy, that damn, what was his name? I had it earlier. I lost it. That wide receiver for
Oh, for the
the
Saints.
Saints. Yeah,
Yeah, that guy
that
was
kid
on
was
fire.
killing it. That one he was draped all over, getting bumped, and just somehow got the catch. That
Yeah,
second touchdown was nice as hell coming back to the ball too. That kid's fantasy stock went up because he was on
definitely.
Shaq, who is not anything to be played around with, and he got 2 good ones on him.
Yeah. So I mean, I watched the first half. I watched Trevor play, and it just looks like they're gonna struggle a bit just to figure out. One, Urban needs to figure out if his college gameplay can even work, and continue to shift. Every college coach kind of goes through it, some more than others, but you have to adjust a little bit to the NFL game. Some of the plays just don't work as well, and you got to be a little quicker with the gun too. Just like he said, Lawrence has to be quicker. He needs to draw up plays that are quicker as well because you can't do the double moves every time and things like that. It's situational based, and he'll learn,
I mean, we
but
only
we'll
had two
see.
of our 5 starting linemen, but I think he's
Mhm.
realizing just how bad our line is. Like our
Yeah,
line is bad. Walker Little, I said to keep an eye on him. He showed flashes. He did really good. He can move all over left side, right side. That's about the only exciting thing that I saw in that game. And how about CJ? He has the heart of a lion. He came out and almost finished that comeback that Minshew started. Minshew's
right.
really putting the hot seat on Trevor now.
Yeah, it really
he
is.
he did his damn thing. Really was able to move the ball a lot more and show what he's able to do. The only thing is he Trevor showed them wheels on that scramble.
Mm-hmm.
He can move. I didn't think he had it in him. I mean, I know the kid can move, but then boys, he doesn't have that Justin Fields mentality where the NFL slow to him. We saw what happened to Justin after he said that. but
Right.
he can move. And so I think that's really going to help his case out a lot more. And he's going to have to start doing that, looking at what Minshew's doing, be like, okay, I can incorporate that a little bit. I need to start sliding out and keep looking instead of looking, done. Slide them feet, move out of the pocket because our O-line's ass, and keep the play alive.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if Minshew's necessarily putting the hot seat on Lawrence, but what he is doing is getting some other teams to potentially wait, because I believe it was Atlanta. They signed Josh Rosen as soon as he was dropped, and now people might be
Poor
saying,
guy.
"Hold on, let's wait a minute. Maybe we don't need to go sign Josh Rosen. Let's leave that spot open and see if we can make a deal for a Minshew type or somebody like that, so they don't have to panic and sign Rosen." Because to all due respect to my LA people out here, I know we went to UCLA. He's not a good football player. He can't even make it on the practice squads anywhere. He's just getting straight up cut, and
Yeah,
it's
poor
rough.
guy, man. Yeah, I mean, at least he got a little bit of money when he first got in the league.
Yeah.
But so there's a lot, not a lot. I see a couple of different pro football. They shared something about it, but like the Colts, they need a quarterback, and Minshew would be perfect. If we did some dumb shit like that and put him on a good team like that, like the Colts are a good team.
They won't put him in a division team, I don't
But
think.
yeah, Minshew's definitely, and I hope we don't do it just because everybody in Jacksonville loves Minshew. I have a Minshew shirt. Like, he's a cool cat. He really
Right.
vibes well for the Jacksonville fans. And I just hope we don't do it. But as a business perspective, yeah, we'll take something.
Yeah, especially when your third stringer looks good enough, does his thing.
We're damn sure going to get more than a 6th round for him. I don't know what the hell we were doing with that Schobert trade.
Yeah. Well, the Bucs, they might have brought back all 22 starters, and I'm super excited about that and all that, but our depth is nowhere to be found. We have a shitty second and third team, and we need to just hope that we have that injury luck that we had last year where nobody gets hurt, because we back-to-back post preseason games.
There it is.
Just, it's been abysmal, and I've had to go try to find it because obviously nobody cares to put us on TV when none of our starters are playing, but I've gone and I've found it, and I've been sad every time that I've found it. It's rough.
Yeah, I've been looking to watch a little bit of Kyle Trask, and I feel you. It's been hard to watch, and there's been a lot of great football everywhere. Yeah. A lot of the Jaguars are playing great football in the second half. It's been really surprising to see, and I think it's these guys realizing, hey, we have 3 freaking games that we didn't have. The whole bunch of guys last year, whole bunch of insurance salesmen coming out last year's class because they didn't get this opportunity, and all these guys are taking it by the balls and doing the most with it. But yeah, it hasn't been found down there in Tampa. No good football in the second half at all.
Griffin looked okay. He started the game and looked pretty good. I don't care about Blaine Gabbert. That guy's useless. I think he's just a placeholder. But I
guess he's a good quarterback room guy, probably.
Yeah, and the third preseason game is all about which quarterback gets cut, and I hope it's not Trask, but Griffin has shown me more so far.
Yeah, but I think that's fine. That's to be expected. But you gotta hope that they see more in him for the future.
Right.
RG3 is not the future. It's not happening.
Right. So let's shift gears a little bit away from Tampa, because again, nobody's played. And let's recap or relook at the quarterbacks. We said how they all did great in the first week. That wasn't necessarily the case, and probably in the second week. And in my opinion, probably the worst of them was Justin Fields, which is kind of funny because he was like the best of them in week 1. But like you said, he said the game got a little slower for him. And to me, it looked like in the second game, he was running for his life a little bit more, like cutting and running earlier than he needed to. And the defenses wasn't letting him play the whole, oh, you're the quarterback, we're going to take it easy on you. Dude was getting hit. If you're going to run in football, Robert Griffin has shown that. If you're going to run in football, you're going to get injured more likely than not. So Fields needs to pick his spots a little better. And he still played well. But when I say he was the worst of the 5, it's just because they're still showing a lot. And but he definitely looked worse. But maybe it's because he was so good in week 1. I don't know.
Yeah, I meant to say RG4. Whenever I thought about it, whenever you laughed, I was like, and then you changed the subject. But whenever I saw that he was starting and he's number 4, I didn't look it up. I just saw R. Griffin and looked at, oh, okay, it's Ryan. Right. But RG4, he needs to get that branding going. That would be, if he can keep the number 4 and be RG4, that would be epic, hilarious, and I think it would catch on and he'd make a lot of money on it.
He's probably already made more money than Robert Griffin because he's played for like 8 years of backup football.
This is true, but he needs to start branding that. You're going to get a lot of love down there in Tampa if you can get some kind of branding going on there. But anyways, back to Justin Fields. Yeah, this last game, I think it showed how ass Matt Nagy and that coaching staff is, and how terrible they are going to be no matter what savior they have show up for them. And Justin Fields is good. It's the NFL is not slow. He just, I don't know, probably played an easy defense to start, but they are going to need to take care of this kid and not let him go crazy and think he can do everything, because he's not going to be able to. And I don't think he's going to have a good enough system around him to be able to get through the shit that Baker was. Baker had an ass of a coaching staff around him, but the system was good. The players were good. And now he has a good coaching staff and they're out here getting playoff wins. So hopefully they'll be able to get rid of Matt Nagy here real soon, because that's the only thing that I got out of this last game in Chicago is that coaching staff is terrible. And they are really going to screw this kid's future up if they don't get rid of that coaching staff.
I think he'll be gone pretty quick. It was just the normal progression of things. It's Trubisky's fault first. Now whose fault is it? It's got to be the coach. I don't know if they got rid of their offensive coordinator. I think they did that before they got rid of Trubisky. So I think they're running down the line, and next up is Nagy. So I can definitely see him being gone pretty soon. And hopefully Fields just rides the bus, because their defense is good. We mentioned it a little bit when we were just giving a season preview. Their defense is good. And if he can just ride that out and not get himself hurt, they do have a chance to make some sort of noise. They have people with name recognition, at least on the team. So hopefully they can get a system in there that works. Nagy just might be trying to save his job, and then doing so, he might mess up Fields' job. We'll see.
I hope not. Fields is going to be good, I believe. And there's definitely teams that are probably waiting around for, let's hope this kid gets screwed in Chicago in 3 years and we can get him for close to nothing.
Yeah, that's possible too. So one person that I didn't see is Trey Lance. I don't even know what his game was like, what his score was like. Did you see anything from him in his second week?
I didn't.
Yeah, I honestly don't know who they played. They might have played like a Thursday night game or something. I ended up missing it.
Oh yeah, they did. They played Friday against the Chargers.
Yeah, Friday. Yeah, who plays football on Friday? Get out of here.
He did nice. 8 of 14, 102 yards, 2 tutties, and 1 interception.
Okay.
Jimmy G was only 36, so I guess he was out there for 2. A lot of these starting quarterbacks,
right,
are getting like 20, 25 snaps. It doesn't matter about how long the plays, the whatever are.
Like what plays are called, no matter how.
Yeah, it's not like 3 or 4 possessions. If a possession goes 15 plays and the next one goes 4 and the other one goes 5, you're done.
Right.
You're out. If you get a 25 fucking play possession, all right, we saw enough, you're done.
Which is normally what's kind of scripted anyway to start a game. At least with a lot of coaches, they get their game plan ready, and it's usually 20 to 25 plays that are scripted. So it's probably that scripted playbook. They get out, no improvisation. We don't need it. Just show us what you can do with these set plays we drew up for you, and then get out of there.
So if that is the case that happened in the Niners game, they have no confidence in Jimmy G, and they ran the ball a shit ton. Right. So their 2 leading running backs attempt-wise that game had 15 attempts and 19 attempts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'm guessing a lot of those was during the Jimmy G's, and then they started letting the boy Trey fly with 14 attempts.
Nice.
Over double. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm starting to back you closer and closer, just that he's going to be a starter pretty much immediately. I think they want to ride with Jimmy G as long as they can, but the tea leaves are out there, and it looks like he's on his way to the bench or to the QB room or whatever you want to do. But when we look beyond that, because again, I didn't watch that, so it's hard to tell anything more. But one guy I did at least see the highlights of is Zack Wilson, and our buddy Marco has to be pretty happy. This dude is a baller. He's got touch on his pass. He's got power. He's got smarts. The only question,
he's got a little bit of swag too.
Yeah, the only question that he has is, does he have the modern QB And obviously Tom Brady shows that you don't have to be that, but do you have to be Tom Brady to not be the modern QB? That's the question. And Zack Wilson looks like he's not going to be a modern QB, but it looks like he has all the tools to make sure that he can get this thing done.
Yeah, for sure. As from a quarterback standpoint in general, he's got it. He doesn't have to be a modern day quarterback too much.
Right.
He's got a little bit of wheels if he has to use them. He has enough. I think he's probably faster than Josh Allen. I don't know. Josh Allen's got some wheels on him. But that's what I'd compare it to him. Just not as tall and strong armed as Josh Allen, but similar. Could stay in the pocket and it's really smart. And Zach can break down a defense already, and the Jets haven't had that in a long time. So that'll really help out. Maybe he'll save a couple of careers up there from just going up to the Jets and just dying. Right. Has Rex had a job since he went to the Jets?
I mean, he's an analyst or whatever.
Yeah, I know that.
No, I don't think so. Because he went back to the Jets, right? He was on the Jets and he went to like the Cowboys and then the Dolphins or whatever, and then he went back to the Jets.
And then see Sanchez, he hasn't been shit. So yeah, that's just where people.
Darnold's about to go into the ether.
Yeah, so it's great. I mean, we all knew that about Sam Darnold, right? Only playing for like 4 years.
Well, Darnold just has the Jameis Winston problem where he'll throw 50 touchdowns, but he's also going to throw 50 interceptions. So there's better people out there to find than that. So
he's like one of them work guys. That's Sean Payton is doing really well. It looks like with Jameis, he knows where to throw the ball, and now he can see where to throw the ball, so he can put it in those spots, and he put it in some damn good spots against us the other night. I'm getting off that.
Taysom looked pretty good too, though. I mean, but he was playing the scrubs a little more so than Jameis was. But Taysom Hill looked pretty good too.
Yeah, our secondary is no joke. So Jameis really put a big exclamation point, on his case to be the starter. And I think he won it. Like, I think Jameis is going to be the guy. We're bouncing everywhere.
I don't think it's official quite yet. I do think Taysom Hill played really well, but as long as Jameis doesn't go out there and throw like a 5 interception shit show on when he's playing a full 3 quarters or whatever he's going to get in the last game, we'll see.
Did Sam Darnold play at all in that game? No.
He would have had to. What? They really just think he's the guy and they're going to just hold him?
It was Zack Wilson, some other dude.
Darnold's on Carolina now, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, duh. I'm an idiot. I am so stupid. Wow. But, is he the guy in Carolina?
I think so, right? Or is it Teddy Two Gloves still over?
No, Teddy's Two Glove is actually in Denver, and so actually that's what I want to talk about. There's a couple of teams. There's a couple of like the Raiders and the Chargers. Neither one of them played their starting quarterbacks at all. It was one Peterman. That guy Peterman.
Oh, that guy's still getting paid, dude. He's still getting paid,
bro. Yeah, so he played the whole game, and some other dude who cares? He's not Peterman for the Chargers. They played the whole game. Game. But there's a lot of teams. There's the Jaguars. There's Teddy Two Gloves and Drew Lock over there fighting for a job. Sam Darnold.
Drew Lock is a beast, though. I don't know why he's.
I haven't looked it up, but Teddy Two Gloves is there to take his reins. There's a couple teams, and all around the league, the last preseason game is nobody really. Are we gonna have 5-6 teams playing their quarterbacks? Let's see who is going to have the first job, or are they going to figure this out in practice and in training camp, and hopefully they get it done, and they're not going to figure it out in a game where they can get hurt and injured and have the decision made for them.
Usually the last game is the game you play more of anyway, right? So even if they do name the starter, they're going to play him.
Let's go
more often. But I think there will be a lot of people looking for the starter still.
Yeah, that'll be fun to watch because I'm ready for football to start. We have a week off before it starts. It's stupid. So we think we got football, then we get to take a week off and really collect ourselves and try not to beat up people in stands and stupid stuff like that. Did you see that video?
No. Was that you guys?
No, it was Steelers fans. Actually, I guess the guy who did the beating is a like producer or something of some 2 Chainz something or another. Yeah, so he's like, yeah. But anyways, so yeah, this lady was like being really mean and rude and smacked the shit out of dude. So dude smacked her back and pushed her away. And then obviously the husband, boyfriend, whatever, has to step in at this point in time.
Right. Of
So
course.
he got knocked out and put to sleep. And that's when
Jeez.
people started yelling at the guy, dude, get out. And then you could hear in the video people yelling, she slapped him first. It was
Jeez.
crazy. It was absolutely insane. But yeah, hopefully that's what the NFL is doing. They're taking the week off to try to calm the fans down and get them ready for football, just like they are. But all right, let's look at old Sam Darnold. One of two, 16 yards. Those were his stats from this last game. That's supposed to be the dress rehearsal, if you will.
Yeah, what is he doing?
That what's his name? PJ Walker, is that his name? Let me click on it real quick. I think that was his name. The XFL dude. Yeah, PJ Walker.
Oh, the XFL guy. Isn't he from USF?
I don't know. Oh, I think so. Yeah, I think so. 1 of 8 yards. But how about that old Gator boy who got a little trouble and had to go up there to West Virginia? 11 of 14, 144 yards. Got sacked
is
twice.
He on their team?
Will Greer's been on there, yeah.
I was thinking Felipe Franks for some reason. He went there, Arkansas.
Oh, fuck no. He's in Atlanta with Pitts.
Right.
Let's see if he played.
When you were saying the Florida boy that had to leave, I thought you meant Felipe Franks.
Oh, I went out to West Virginia. I said that, right?
Yeah, you did. You did.
Ooh, Felipe Franks, 4 of 9, 46 yards. Interception, 4 sacks. Still doesn't know how to get rid of the ball. Crazy. Insane. He probably had, he had 3 attempts of rushing for 32 yards. Crazy. Kid's never going to fucking change. But hey, he's got to go up against that boy, AJ McCarron, the old cat out of Bama.
I thought AJ McCarron was like hosting or commentating college football.
I think he just has that face. He has that face.
Oh, no, it's Greg McElroy that's.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking that same face. See? Look at that face.
Yeah, he's got that face. Yeah, so anyways, before we're talking about who's going to be the quarterback getting cut and get back to the actual quarterback battles, I think one of the biggest ones at this point now that hasn't shaken out, we talked a little bit about Jameis and Taysom, but that one's coming near shaking out. But that's Mac Jones and Cam Newton. And Mac Jones is now going to get a full chance to just show what he can do without Cam being able to show anything because he messed up COVID protocol and he has 5 more days. So I think it's still Cam's to lose. He played really well in the second game as well. But do you think this benefits Mac Jones to be able to just have the first team reps to himself for all of practice, and then he's going to get the start on game 3 and really get to show what he can do?
Yeah, absolutely. Whoa.
You were fuzzy for a little bit there.
Yeah, there we are. Yeah, and it's crazy too how it all played out, how they sent him somewhere to get testing done, and so he broke rules by going to a different facility or something. So he has to take 5 days off to work while they figure out. That's all weird. All these small prints that we find out that and this is just on COVID, like the contract small fine prints, the brand small fine prints, the apparent dude. There's got to be so much shit these players probably don't ever see, and their agents know, and they're like, oh no, don't do that. But for the team to set all this up, is that them setting him up for failure, like trying to find a way to give Mac a chance? We all know Bill is a guy who will always find any way to get the edge. Maybe he's like, let's just go ahead and take him to that place over there. We'll get Mac in here all week. Let's do that. All right, go. It's a little hot in here. Let me get this hoodie off.
Let me cut the sleeves a little higher.
Yeah. So, I mean, I doubt that's what happened.
Right.
But absolutely, he came out, and this is going to be a guy, right, that he was going to sit and end up maybe next year. They got Cam for nothing. Get another year out of Cam. They know they're not going to win any Super Bowls, so why rush the guy? And for him to come out the way he has, all up in training camp, they're saying he's a guy. They were showing videos of him dancing. Even at Bama, he was a swagoo kind of dude, and really vibes well with the team. And he is another Cam, if you will, in that essence. So they don't really need that. So why ride with Cam? Pay him the, what is it, like $1.8 million to ride the bench like they do a lot of backups in the NFL, and let Mac have his time. But I don't know, man. I don't see any reason to do that.
Cam played well. Like I said, the first two preseason games and the end of last season, he looked really good.
Yeah, do you think he got COVID again and they're scared because he sucked after he got COVID last year?
Maybe that's why they sent him to the wrong spot. They were like, fuck this. If he's got COVID again, we're out.
And he got the Delta this time. Fuck that. We're done. Matt, get on in here.
That's the most exciting one for me. Not that the Patriots are ever exciting for me, but if I'm gonna watch a preseason game 3, it's probably gonna be the Patriots. Or maybe I'll find the 49ers. I do want to see what Trey Lance has been doing, but other than that, I don't really care. It's still the preseason, but
yeah, I did see Jeff Driscoll get out there a little bit for the Texans, and I feel so bad that he's in that shithole of an organization right now.
He's been around the world though.
And Tyrod, dude. So the Texans are going to get a great quarterback here coming up in the draft soon. Tyrod Taylor's on the Texans. Fucking somebody in the division had to go and steal my idea.
So who's the quarterback they're going for then? That DJ Ugalali guy that backed up Trevor Lawrence?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, I hope not.
Oh, that Spencer Rattler guy from Oklahoma. That's
he's the projected Heisman. That kid is such a watch QB1. That kid is ass.
I still haven't seen it
as a person.
Really?
Like he was such a little punk. Yeah, I didn't like him. Justin Fields was cool as fuck.
Okay.
Justin Fields was really cool. That show's old now. Wow.
Yeah, it is. It is old now.
Ooh. Good show still.
Hopefully there's going to be a new Last Chance U or something come out.
How? They all had COVID shutdown last year.
Somebody played. These are JUCO kids.
We got our Last Chance U in the form of the fucking basketball show we got to watch.
I know. We'll get something else. We'll get Last Chance U swimming or something.
Let's get another thing. Did you ever watch the the Alaskan football team or whatever?
I don't think so.
It's on Netflix.
I've seen the basketball one with the Native American kids.
I think that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, like on
there's
a reservation or whatever.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, there's that one.
I don't think I've seen a football one.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get a slew of those coming up in the next month or two because it should be coming out right now.
Yeah, right? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, get you hyped before the season starts. A new All-American came out, not new, but a new one got put onto Netflix.
Yeah, did you watch it?
I've seen a few episodes.
You're gonna cry.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it his last season? Yeah, because he's a senior this season, right?
So they are making a All-American 4.
Oh, okay. But he's a senior this year, right? In high school?
I think so. Yeah, because they're all talking about
because they won the championship, and don't tell me what happened yet because I don't know. But they won the championship, and now he's deciding on if he wants to go play for his dad or stay with the other team. Nice.
No, that's not his dad. You're on to the new season, right?
No, yeah, I'm on to his dad is coaching Crenshaw now, and he's deciding if he wants to go back to Crenshaw or not.
You're watching season 3.
Yeah, that's not the new one.
No, season 4. Oh,
you just said they're gonna.
So you're watching season 2.
4. No.
All right.
I don't know. Whatever, man. I'm watching. It said new season, and so I clicked it, and I'm watching whatever season it gave me for the new season. Whatever. But anyways, anything else with real football? Not with Spencer, because that's the guy's name, Spencer, too, right?
Yeah, it is Spencer. Spencer James. You know, the guy who it's based off of is actually one of the assistant coaches, and he just kind of stands in the background looking all tough.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anything else about real football before we try to find a couple of other headlines to shoot out?
Nah, not really.
All right. Well, I did have a shout out to give, and that shout out is to Mr. Producer Seal over there because he called it just how stupid PSG would be to get rid of Mbappe. Real Madrid said, yo, we got a big ass offer for Mbappe. And they said, shove it. Like, we don't even want to hear it. So yeah, it seems like they're going to make the right move there. And
that's good.
It was $188 million. And they said, no, thank you. We don't need it.
Holy shit.
They said, we don't need it. We'll keep our boy. So.
That's like that's two Messis, just so you guys know.
Yeah.
That's like 2 Messi contracts. That's Messi and CR7 there. That makes room for that to happen.
And that's just to pay the team to get him. And then they would have to pay Mbappe on top of that.
Shit. That's man.
And PSG turned that down. So
they
took your lead. They're doing their thing, keeping their homegrown talent. And I'm going to play it. So there was your little shout out for Seal over there. But what I did want to talk about, because this is truly, I know we started with football, even though it's the preseason, but this is truly the thing we need to talk about, the headline that's dominating all sports right now. And that is college football realignment. This thing is going nuts. The SEC has grown to God knows how many teams right now. The ACC is looking to take up a whole bunch of other guys. And then now the Pac-12 is about to release their what they're going to do. And I don't even know what kind of scraps they're going to pick up anymore. But it looks like the big Power Five is, I don't think, going to be a thing at all anymore. I think there's going to be some other system. So let's talk a little bit about this college football realignment and what it means for people, because you're not going to be able to play every team in your conference. You already don't, but you essentially get to play the teams that matter the most. And now there's not even going to be a chance.
Yeah, and I feel like less and less we're not going to have these 8-10 conference game schedules going on. We're going to have more like a 4 or 5 conference game schedule the way it's going. And like people were saying, Oregon, Paul Finnbaum, like Oregon and all these Pac-12 people need to go to the Big Ten and all these moves and shifts that still now need to happen. So it's not done. All this stuff is supposed to take place in 2 years and 2023. That's so weird that we're fucking in 2021.
Right.
When you think about it. But like when you think, oh yeah, in 2023, all the alignments are going to take place. Be like, yeah, bro, that's a year and a half from now. So and it's still more to be done. So I don't know how it's going to work. Obviously, the college playoff is going to have to get expanded at this point, because you're not going to be able to figure out who the best in these conferences just by the sheer, all right, let's do the conferences at East, West, whatever it is, North, South shit. And then those top 2 teams, because there's still 4 other teams that could have easily been.
There could legitimately be 2 undefeated teams in like the SEC West, because there's going to be so many teams that they might not get to play each other.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And if these Oregon teams, USC, they'd go to the Big Ten too, you're going to have these conferences, like you said, not even just undefeated, 11-1 teams, 10-1 teams. And that's usually what it takes to get a national championship bid back in the day. So if it's a 16 playoffs, that's still not even going to cut it, because that's just 3 from the Big Ten in 2023 and 3 from the SEC. And now you got the ACC and all these other guys screaming, what about us?
Right. So what do you think, just team wise, what do you think the ACC is going to need to do? Because they, for the last, 4 or 5 years, have been Clemson and nobody else. It hasn't even been close. Louisville made one little bit of a run, and and nobody's even been close. Does Clemson need to try to cut bait or talk the ACC into taking one of these Stanfords or somebody, even though they're on the other side of the country, just to try to get some sort of something?
Yeah, they have to. They always ride the coattail of one team, it seems like, right? I mean, it seems to happen in all of them. UCLA, USC really are the 2 teams in one city that hold that whole conference together. But Oregon shows up in many different ways, track and field and shit like that. Right. But the ACC all around really rides the coattails of one team. They have Florida State in baseball, really. Basketball, Florida State pretty much. Miami in football back in the day, then Florida State, then Clemson. Like, they don't ever have these battles. You had the Gators and Bama, even now still Gators, Bama, LSU, Georgia. Bama, Georgia. There's all these, there's powerhouses in the SEC, and it seems like there's always one powerhouse always in the ACC, and they need, especially if you're going to have the fucking Big Ten being stacked with 30 teams that are just knocking each other's doors off, trying to fuck each other's seasons up. Yeah, the ACC's literally going to be the one conference that's going to get left in the dust with one team. Just, hi, we're Clemson. And
their strength of schedule is going to be nothing.
Yeah, and that's not going to stack up. And their bid, they're going to be 11, 12-0, however many football games are going to be in college by 2023. And they're not going to be able to even crack it. They're going to be one of those non-power 5, whatever it is they call UCF.
Group of 5 or whatever.
Yeah, they're going to be looked like a group of 5 school. So,
and this essentially, in my opinion, just does away with group of 5 schools. Like they're done. Any chance that they had, not that they had any chance anyway, but UCF, Cincinnati, these guys, Boise State back in the day, they were knocking on the door trying to make people change their view of college football. But instead of doing that, they just strengthened the top of college football so that they can say, listen, you guys are still at the bottom. And I think it set back a lot for the group of fives, unless the one chance we have is before 2023, whoever that highest ranked is this year at Cincinnati, they need to just run it out. And I mean, obviously as a UCF fan, I don't want that to happen, but if the lower class teams are going to have any say in this, it's for this year, at least it's Cincinnati needs to go undefeated, win every game by 30 plus points, get in there and show what they can do. Otherwise they're going to get left in the dust with all this realignment.
And AAC is kind of screwed too with all this realignment because they're for sure losing Cincinnati to this.
Oh yeah.
For sure. They're definitely probably going to end up losing UCF. They got a new AD in there. He probably wants to go bigger and better. Like every new person wants to do better than the last. Hey, he got up to the AAC. That's cool and all, but I'm going to get us into a Power 5. And what better opportunity now when the ACC is looking into it. And hey, we're in Florida too, baby. We're here. We're at the Atlantic. I mean, we can't spit on it, but give us an hour drive, we can spit on it.
Right. Yeah, and I think so. If UCF, just to think about this, if UCF gets an offer from the ACC, the Big 12, or the Pac-12, which I know Pac-12 is far away, but that's people are speculating on Facebook, but they always do that. Where do you think the best one to take? Do you think jumping in on the coattails of Clemson and riding the ACC, or taking over a newly weakened Big 12 before they get thrown to the gutters?
I think ACC, just from a scheduling standpoint, like that's going to be the ACC's biggest thing about trying to get one of those teams that are in the Midwest and shit like that is the scheduling and stuff like that. So Stanford, it's going to be really hard being on the direct other side of the country to try to talk them into flying over 7-8 times or 4 or 5 times across country a year to play down here. But I think the ACC would be really good because UCF is really trying to strengthen that Florida rivalry, and to have Florida State and Miami on the schedule automatically. And we already got Florida for the 2 games, and that's going to continue to keep growing. It seems like with the new athletic director here, they're really getting in well with Gainesville, and that's going to strengthen that bond. So yeah, that would be really, really good just as a brand for UCF if they can take over Florida, they can take over football and as a national be a headline, because Florida runs football for the most part. There's there's Florida, Texas, and I don't know the rest
and quarterbacks
of the country.
From California.
Yeah,
not just players or teams, but quarterbacks from California.
So I mean, and we're a pipeline. So to really own college football in Florida would say a lot. And the easiest route is you have 2 teams that are in one conference already. Go run that shit.
And how do you think this hurts? There's a couple of things that it could potentially hurt. I obviously said the group of 5, but just as a concept in general, that's rivalries. Like, how are you going to have the Florida State rivalry, for example, is a cross rivalry, but that now you're going to have play so many conference games. How are you going to get to play these rivalries? You're not going to have any cupcakes, which people have been stammering for no cupcakes at all anyway, but you're going to have to replace any off-season or non-conference game with a Florida State for us. Whereas some teams like Alabama gets to have Auburn and LSU, they're already in their conference anyway.
Not even just that. Think of Oklahoma, Texas. They're going to be doing a rivalry game, not even being in the same conference anymore. We're going to have probably Michigan, Ohio State, not even in the same conference. So they're really going to have to think hard about their rivalry game, because Florida State they're already taking a non-conference slot and putting that rivalry game in there. That's not even a thought. These guys do it as a conference game. So it's a loud rivalry game that you don't even have to think about. That's going to be really hard if they are going to have, let's say we go to 12 games and you have to have 10 conference games.
Right.
That's going to be really fucking hard for them to.
And they've already got their schedules or their non-conference schedules booked too. So, I mean, we might have 4 or 5 years without a Ohio State, Michigan game, which is just nuts.
Yeah. That's what is the biggest, like with the rivalries like that, the out of conference rivalries that are already been going, that's going to be fine. We've been working with Miami. That's going to be a lot harder. Florida, Miami to continue.
Right.
It's going to be a hell of a lot harder, especially since UCF's kind of getting in that non-conference slot a little bit. But those conference rivalry games, it's going to be very hard for them to do. And I don't see Ohio State and Michigan staying in the same conference. I see Ohio State going, or maybe they'll be the big conference that kind of sucks everybody in. The Big 12 is going to be a lot different. They're losing a shit ton. They don't really have a lot of play with the TV shit because Texas already has their own.
They have their own network. Yeah.
Yeah. So they don't really have a lot to say there. So they're going to lose one of them two, I feel like, and one's going to be left to dry in the Big 12. So those are the rivalries, the teams we're used to. We grew up watching them games.
Yeah, but I mean, don't you think like Ohio State's going to call Kent State up and be like, sorry, bros. Like, I know we had you scheduled, but
they'll probably pay them off. Like, hey, I know we're supposed to give you 500,000 to play us. Here's $1 million. Sorry.
Yeah. Like they're not going to not allow that game to happen. The Red River rivalry is going to happen. So some of those, the Oregon State rivalry, which might end up getting broken up. Nobody cares about that in the national scheme, but they care out here. It's going to keep getting played. So all of those will keep getting played. It's just going to be weird to see how that works. And you might end up not having any non-conference games like in that sense. You might have conference games and then a rivalry game. You might not get to schedule your own games at all. Who knows?
I don't see that. I really don't see that. They're going to have to expand the schedules or decrease the conference games because I think it's 8, right? You have to play 8 conference
right
games.
now. Yeah.
That's going to probably get down to 6. It has to. It has to.
And I just don't know how they can, like you said earlier, how they can get a conference champion in 6 games. How is that going to happen?
I mean, and now that these guys are getting paid.
That's
essentially
the thing.
not
They're
all
going to make
of
them pay. They're going to make them play 15, 16 games.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're in for a wild ride of college.
Yeah. If I had to guess, I would say the schedule is getting bumped and they're going to say, hey, we don't have to look out for your well-being anymore. You guys are getting paid. You're going to play now.
And then the guy that's a walk-on who nobody knows about is going to be like, Coach, I have a lunch card still.
Right. I have to actually go get my degree still because I'm not in underwater basket weaving. I got to go try to get my degree.
Go do OnlyFans. I can't anymore.
Yeah, didn't they drop that? It's not sports talk, but didn't they say you can't do porn or something?
You can't do porn. Yeah, apparently you could still post nude pictures, but you can't I'm not gonna.
I've never watched any other.
Can't have shit going inside of you.
Yeah, I obviously have heard many things about it and know what it's about, but I saw that headline. I was like, that seems like a bad business decision, but I don't know. Sex sells, bro.
Restaurants are going to get full of workers again, though.
There was a radio. This is not sports related either, but on the way to work, there was a thing on the radio that an ICU nurse had to quit her job because she had an OnlyFans account. And she said her OnlyFans account makes what she makes in a year as an ICU nurse in like a week. She's like, I won't tell you the numbers, but I make my yearly salary in like a week. And she wasn't like a server at a restaurant. She was an ICU nurse. I was just like, get out of here, bro. So of course I had to Google her and see if it was worth it. And
There's weird people out there, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. People will pay for anything.
It's weird. Some lady sold water. She said that she took a bath and cupped her water up and sold little cups of water for like $20 a piece. And she made, I forget what it was. It was like she made like $1 million or $500,000 or something off of it. So much so like she was like literally taking like 3 baths a day and she had to stop because she couldn't keep up with the orders.
Those are the things that I feel like need to be put on a watch list somewhere. Whoever's paying for that stuff. Make sure that person, male or female, is on a list. Make sure that they're being followed.
Just a weirdo list?
Something, dude, because that's not a normal thing. I mean, everybody has their thing, and I don't want to judge, but as long as they're doing it legally, I guess, and they're paying with hard-earned money, then I guess they can pay for whatever they want. But my goodness, that is some weird stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So anyways,
America.
back to sports. If that's your thing, I didn't mean to slander you. You go buy all the bathwater you need. All right. So there's not really much else to talk about. I did see that the freaking, we can talk about it because I'm wearing them. The Dodgers, man, it's very frustrating. I'm sure the Red Sox have had this many times in the past when you and the Yankees were both good. We're going to end up with the second best record in baseball and have to play a 1-game wild card. And it's the most frustrating thing. I know Eddie said his Pirates have had that problem. Like I said, I'm sure you guys, do you remember anything like that where you guys were one of the best teams in baseball and ended up second to the Yankees and had to play in a wild card?
Yeah, I think that happened like 4 or 5 years ago, and we didn't get it, and we got sent packing.
That's what I think is going to happen to us because it's going to be against the MVP, Fernando Tatis, and in a 1-gamer. I mean, luckily we have Walker Buehler and he's going to be fine probably, but that's not a situation you want to put yourself in. And hopefully we make the run. We're only 2.5 games back if we finish off this win tonight. And we have a series with the Giants coming up still, but only 1 game left against, or 1 series left against them. It's coming down to crunch time. So I'm a little nervous now. I wasn't nervous all the way up until about August 15th or so. And I was like, wow, this is actually a thing. And they're the oldest team in baseball. Usually that means that they're not great until the playoffs, but man, it's been working for them. So I'm a little scared, and I hate that it's the Giants. But I think we've won 14 straight divisions, maybe 15 now. The COVID year always has me confused. But it could potentially come to an end, but it ain't over till it's over, and we're gonna keep pushing.
Yeah, the Yankees have been on a tear, and I've been making fun of them all fucking
They swept
season.
you guys, didn't they?
Yeah, we're looking up at them now.
What? Weren't they like last in your division?
Yep.
Gee, or well, I guess Baltimore's always been last, but they
We've
were
been
like down
shitty.
at the bottom.
We've
Wow.
been shitty, so I don't even know if we're gonna make the playoffs this year. We're third in our division.
But you're still in the wild card slot right now, right? Because everybody's from your division.
Yeah, I'm
still?
looking it up.
Oh wow, the Yankees have won 11 straight. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah, they lost that fucking walk-off while America was watching there in fucking Iowa, or wherever it was, where he built it and he came.
Oh yeah. The Field of Dreams.
Yeah, and they've been fucking killing it since.
Jeez. Well, the Dodgers are 78-47. We're still the best team. That isn't the Giants, but the Giants are the first team to 80 games. They're the team that's doing the best, but we have the best run differential. We have all the best stuff. It's just you never want to be in that 1-game wild card thing. And I've been a fan of, I'm not just saying this because the Dodgers look like they're going to line up there. I hate 1-game things. Make it a 3-game series, at least do something, make some money out of it.
Yeah, so right now it's us against the Yankees in the wild card game.
Oh wow. But yeah, so one games, I can't stand the 1 games. Obviously football does it because they have to, but I'm a fan of every playoff series ever being 7 games, except football because you just can't do it. But baseball should be 7 games. They shouldn't even have that 5-game divisional series. I think that's dumb. Just make them all 7, play the games. Everybody loves it. Baseball plays 162 games anyway. They don't care about playing a couple more games.
That's so stupid. That's so stupid.
Knock off some of those games so that they can play their games if you're really worried about their rest. Yeah.
Fuck, man. Here we go again, dude. Same fucking shit. Yankees fucking suck.
Well, if any team's gonna end our division streak, I'm very upset that it's the Giants. I would have rathered it been this upstart Padres team continuing to do amazing, and that's what I thought it was going to be, because the Diamondbacks suck and the Rockies are the Rockies. But I did not expect the Giants to be back on board anytime soon. And
yeah, that's just crazy.
Well, that's pretty much all I have, and I hate to end on the Giants.
We're recording on 8/24.
I know. I was.
Kobe Day.
Yeah, I guess this is coming out not on 8/24, but that was going to be the thing. And he just had his birthday, and like I was just reading a bunch of quotes from him because of his birthday thing and because of Kobe Day and all this, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, just reading quotes. Yeah, it's real, bro.
Yeah, sucks.
It's real. But
He was different. That's for sure.
I was gonna read his quote on the medal again, and I actually forgot the medal. I don't know where it is, but basically about making lives better for everybody else, because we've been ending the podcast on such good positive vibes notes every time. It's been really good.
Yeah.
And then I forgot the quote, so I feel like a
Well,
bad fan.
look up a Kobe quote real quick. Find a good
All
one.
right, let's
and
find a good.
you can end us on that. Cause yeah, man, it does suck. It really I feel the same with his birthday the other day and just seeing everybody post stuff about him, memories. And yeah, it for me, it really set in that he's really gone. Like he's gone. When we talk about Kobe now, it's in the past. Except when I shoot trash into the trash can. That's right now. Kobe.
It's always.
Yeah. So, but when we talk about him now, he's one of the greats. He was one of the greats. Not he is. He's one of the greats. It sucks. We always thought like when you see Bill Russell and all these old cats going and they're everywhere doing everything all the time with the NBA. That's what we saw in Kobe. We knew that was going to happen. And it's just crazy, man. It really did set in this time for sure.
Yeah, no. So I found it, but I was looking just through all the other ones because of just how great he is. So I challenge you guys to go look at his quotes. He has such good quotes, and he looks back at a problem, or as a problem, at least as a problem teammate. He's this guy, and he's always been quoted. This isn't even the quote, but he's been quoted as saying like, "I'm not here to make friends. Friends don't matter. Like these banners are going to hang forever. These friends are going to go away." Like that. It's a weird mentality to have, but it after he retired and you've been able to see kind of how it all came to fruition and the way he helped other people and stuff, then that attitude comes into place. And one of the ones that I wanted to read that wasn't even part of it, but it's just so good. It says, "I'm reflective, but only in the sense that I learn to move forward. I reflect with a purpose." And like so many people say, don't dwell on the past. And that quote's even saying that as well. But it's also, don't forget your past. Like I reflect, I look at my past, I understand my past, but the only reason I'm looking at my past is to grow from it and to figure out how to come forward. And obviously we know that he did that. But the quote that I wanted to read, the one that was on the medal, says that the most important thing is to try and inspire people so that they can be great in whatever they do. And we saw that all the time after his retirement with his detail and with his help in Jason Tatum and telling Devin Booker to be legendary and all this other stuff. And that is the goal. We talk about chasing your dreams all the time and doing the stuff. We were really high on that in the Olympics, and we're still high on that. But the ultimate goal is to help others, inspire others. And the way you do that is by achieving your goals so that you can teach them their goals as well. So the truest thing that I love, and it's just the most important thing, is to try to inspire others so that they can be great in whatever they want to do. So be like that quote. Don't be like all the parts of Kobe, but we love Kobe. Be like Kobe. Be like the quote there, and inspire others to be great in what they want to do. And as always, be a stud, not a scrub.